Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. We're going to be talking about modules 5 and 6 in this video, and this is going to be us finishing up the formal elements and principles of design. In module 5, we do have motion and the illusion of motion, but we also have a really fun documentary about Terry Horton, this older woman who finds a painting at a thrift shop. It turns out it could be a really expensive painting. She had bought it for $5. Today she's asking $50 million for it. And so we kind of follow along the way of her authenticating this artwork. In Module 6, we also have 3 lectures. They're very small lectures on the last of the principles of design, which is like balance, focal point, and I believe unity. We also, during these 2 weeks, have a museum project. The museum project, while it is due technically at the end of Module 6, you have many more weeks to complete that project because I ask you to go to a museum. And that is a little bit more entailed project, so I'm giving you more time to complete that, but it is an essential cornerstone of this class. So the sooner you do it, the better, so you're not doing it at the last minute many weeks from today. Get it out of the way, get the points. Let's go ahead and go over to the Canvas site. I'll walk you through modules 5 and 6. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. We're going to be covering modules 5 and 6. We're going to be covering module 5 first. So up top, we have our usual information, our video, module 5 introduction, and also my office hours every Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. We have our lecture for the week, which is on motion and the illusion of motion, our study guide, and then finally the further exploration section. So we have our readings up here, and then we also have a few videos: Nude Descending a Staircase, Chris Burden, Metropolis 2, which deals with kinetic art, Jackson Pollock, and also if you ever get a chance to watch Pollock the film, it is an excellent film. It was up for many Academy Awards in the year 2000, and it's one of the few movies I actually recommend to watch. Documentary this week, we do have a film we do need to watch for class, which is Who the F is Jackson Pollock, which is about this lady here who is at a thrift store, buys a painting for $5, and it turns out that this could be a painting by Jackson Pollock, which would make it worth millions. The documentary traces her way of authenticating the work. Our movie guide, and then finally the further exploration section. We've got an article on Terry Horton's passing, and we also have the interview here several weeks prior to her passing. And so you can actually see her as she was in real life. Our journal entry, which is to submit the movie guide. So the movie guide we'll bring up here for just a second. This is going to cover all the major characters, and I believe I have this in order of appearance. So in the first portion here, you're just going to put down your thoughts and ideas, maybe even the role that these individuals play in the film. And then finally, more in-depth questions. Do you think Terry's painting was an authentic Pollock painting? Do you think scholarship or science deserves more credibility? Where do you see division amongst the social classes? Is there anyone we can trust? And so on. So that's what you're going to submit for your journal entry for the week. The other project we have is a museum project. And I'm going to go ahead and set the due date for this 1 week prior to the end of this semester. The sooner you are able to do this project, complete it. It's worth 40 points. It'll make a big impact on your grade, and it is to visit an art museum. Once again, it is due May 25th. However, if you're on the spring recess and that's your time where you're able to visit an art museum, that would be great. So again, just do this as soon as possible. It does have to be a museum that deals with art that we deal with in our class. So painting, photography, sculpture, things like that. For the instructions, I want you to visit an art museum. I want you to spend an hour there at least. And you're basically, in terms of your paper, it's just a response paper. What did you think? What did you see? Did you enjoy it? Things like that. You need to take a picture of yourself at the museum. It does need to be in a recognizable area. When you submit the project, you also need to submit an identification of who you are. Because we do not have or use the Respondus browsers where you have to show an ID when you take an exam, I have to have one project to verify your identity, and that's this project. So you're going to scan your picture ID. A student ID is perfect. A driver's license is fine, but cover up any information other than your name. And again, any other picture ID, work ID is totally okay. But you do need to submit that as with your project. And just a one-page response is all I'm looking for. Here are your museum choices down below. They can be something local, for instance, like the Norton Simon in Pasadena, the LA County Museum of Art. I'll pop in the Hilbert Museum down here, and this is a really great one. A lot of my students go to this one. The Long Beach Museum of Art is fine. If you're up the coast, the Santa Barbara Museum of Art. The Museum of Latin American Art, also in Long Beach. I think that's on Los Alamitos. That is a great museum to go to. The Orange County Museum of Art, a little bit on the small side, but definitely worth the visit. And that one is fairly close by as well. If you are traveling out of state or up in Northern California, please just check with me as far as museums go. It just needs to be a medium to large museum. And again, I can't stress how important that project is. As soon as you complete it, it's 40 points. So that's like 8% of your overall grade. Let's look at Module 6. And Module 6 here, once again, same information at the top. We have 3 sections here, 3 lectures. These are the end of the formal elements and principles of design. So these are going to be fairly short videos. Scale, repetition, and unity, the study guide. There's only one video in the further exploration section here, and that has our readings up here as well. Then we have balance. We'll take a look at the further exploration. It's just a reading. And beneath that, emphasis and focal point. Just a quick reading as well. For our journal this week, what I'm going to have you do is actually read through some excerpts of Andy Warhol's diary. And he's famous for the quotes that he gives throughout his life. They are compiled here. Choose a couple of them and respond to them. Your own ideas, you can agree, disagree, tell me this guy is out in left field, that he's not dealing with reality. That's totally okay. But you're going to do the first quote, your response, second quote, and your response to that. Leave a space in between those paragraphs. The last thing you need to do, that's going to be the quiz, number 3. The quiz, of course, covers both modules 5 and 6. It is 20 questions. It is timed at 20 minutes. And it also covers the documentary, so make sure you watch it in its entirety. And with that, that is everything for these 2 modules. I will be back shortly to tell you about modules 7 and 8. That'll put us halfway through the course. And don't forget, you can email me Monday through Friday, and you can also visit my office hours Wednesday if you have questions or need some help. Hope you all have a good week.